Do 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 do. Rocky music.
Do 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 do. Are we recording? Are we live?
We are. This is the start of the episode, Ryan.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
everybody.
Are we
Welcome back to Pajod-anime.
are we at the end of the game?
Ryan, what does this music
Welcome.
sound like?
I don't know.
What does that look like?
Jex. Oh no. You wanted to see more of me, and here I am.
You were the one who called it.
Now I'm the final summon. He doesn't even say anything. He just laughs.
Yeah.
Has chosen
And then, yeah, Steve.
Of course, I knew it.
Of sin. I am one with sin forever.
I knew it. He was going to do what you couldn't because you turned it down.
Sin just absorbed you.
I will learn to control it from within. I have all the time in the
I'm
world.
actually your father, Steve.
Since you were gracious enough to dispose of Unaleska,
There you go.
the
Unilescence.
only means of destroying sin is forever gone.
He didn't even wait until the cutscene's over to start transforming. Come on, man.
He transforms mid-conversation. Now you need to transform.
I
It's
like
your
how-
animality,
Okay,
Steve.
this is a good moment.
Your death means your father's life.
Shit.
I like how he's like,
So
Nothing
Kyle, is
is-
this your favorite design?
I mean, this one's pretty good, but no.
Is that what you were holding out for? No.
Nope.
Okay. Perfect, because that Kyle can just secretly confirm to me that this isn't the final boss of the game.
Oh, no, of course not.
Also, music.
Also,
This
yeah,
is like
this is
the what
fucking rad music.
fifth time we fought
Four.
Vegeta here.
This is 4.
Okay.
Also, yeah, this music is great, and I'll just give a quick side thing. So you see these fucking wheel things that he has? So I should put the right party in.
The wheels of summons.
Yeah, so basically, if
The
too
wheels of
many-
faith.
Well, no, you may notice that those are all the different elements. We've got fire, water, earth, and...
Yeah.
Or not earth, but you know what I mean. Lightning and blizzard.
Yep.
If too many of them are lined up together, he gets stronger tiered magic. So they're all on fire right now. If he casts magic, he gets Fire-aga. If I can separate them and down to like 3 or 2, it's
Okay.
Fire. And
He's
then
immune to sensors, so you don't get to know his health.
no, that's just the things. I get to know his.
Oh,
health.
the pads. Sorry. Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
Also,
Energized by the Mortiphasma.
yeah. This
Does he have a name of this phase?
Yeah. give me
I'll
a
see
second.
when you go to attack him.
Yeah.
No worries.
I have to do some
Haste.
prep work.
He's just like purple energy. He is faith.
Oh, she can't attack from me. Okay. So I actually do need someone who can hit from the distance. Let's bring in you for
This is
this.
some pretty anime music.
This music reminds me a lot of, what's it called? Jesus Christ. Oh god. Oh wait, it's supposed to be me.
It reminds you of Jesus Christ. Got it.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. I mean, he's got the headphones
Oh,
on, the
fuck,
hipster
right,
beard,
okay, so
just
this is-
rocking it. You know he owns a vinyl of this.
Yeah, so he's gonna cast 3 casts of Fire-aga, and then like 1 cast of regular Blizzard.
Okay.
No, he still gets Blizzara out of that? This is some
Blizzara.
bullshit. Okay, well, it's a good thing that I just said walking out.
Your Kyle's like, shit, I don't remember the hook of this boss fight right now then. Must be something else. Oh, he doesn't, he only has 3 fires aligned, not 4.
Yeah, he had 3 originally, then I hit, or 4 originally, and I hit.
Oh,
him.
I thought okay. I see.
Yeah, because
I'll
I
bet
can
portion-
hit
oh,
them
man.
to do.
What I'm kind of curious what you thought this music reminds you of now.
Oh, sorry, Mist of the Ninja.
I'm trying to put. Oh, okay, yeah. I get
Yeah.
that vibe. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you watched some of that stream, right? A talent for acquisition. Okay, I got a trophy. That's dope.
Indeed, I can tell on the blackness of the screen.
Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm trying to get those things to all move.
You know, now that we deal with this all the time, so I'm kind of curious your thoughts. Opinion on, you can turn them off, by the way. I was just curious your opinion on notification settings for trophies like that. Do you like to have them on when you play normally?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of the same when I play normally. I'm thinking because when we share play on my end though, it gives the audience a black box. Obviously, they won't see it on your end when you're capturing on your side because Kyle captures regardless if I'm playing. So I'm thinking like when we do Bloodborne and stuff, it might be better to disable them.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the end of the world.
Temporarily, right? I personally like to play with them on, but what was that? Sorry.
Like Chris usually leaves them on, and it's kind of we've had some good bits come out of it before.
Okay.
A famous one where Chris was trying to, although it would have played a lot better if we could have seen it. Chris was trying to get a trophy in Uncharted, like really obnoxiously trying to get a trophy in Uncharted, where like it was one of those like get too many hanging kills. So he was like in fights where he was like running and hanging on things for no reason in order to get the shots off, and he ended up dying for one. But as he did it, he in his death throes, he got a shot off that got him the trophy, and I was like, Chris, this is so stupid. You're not gonna get this fucking trophy, and then oh yeah, look, now you're dead. But then he gets it. And admittedly, that plays a lot better if you can see the trophy thing, but we couldn't. Okay, so I've got.
I don't understand why they black that out either. It doesn't really make sense because if you earn a trophy, you can screen share it. You know what I mean? Like you can you can screenshot it. I mean, and then share that like on socials.
Yeah. It's really obnoxious when they do that, right? Like the blocking thing.
It's not like you're telling me I can't get an image of what this. Because if their argument is, well, what if it's a story trophy and it's hidden?
Watching the trophy.
But I can still, but I can still screenshot that anytime with your system and then put it out regardless. So it's like the trophy names are not that big of a deal.
No, and
like obviously sometimes the descriptions spoil things clearly.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, people can still, I don't know, people, like I said, people still have the ways to get that out anyway if they're trying to spoil it. I just don't know, I don't know what the argument is for it.
There's no good one.
Like, I think it might just somehow be tied into their share play, like, lock scene stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like either a bug or like a carryover or something.
That would be my guess.
Like it might have something to do with the PS4 system level communication. Like whenever there's a system communication or something, you know what I mean? Something like that with PS4 2 thing when you're share playing. That's what's not allowed to be shown, or that's the what they use for the barricade, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't matter what you're doing, regardless of if it's a cutscene that can't be shown or whatever. The moment it's, hey, this is not something to this isn't good. It's just like, oh, it's blacked out.
Which is obnoxious, I think.
Get in there.
Alright, so I can almost start hitting Seymour now.
I'm assuming he has other forms going on here after this, or other abilities, I should say, after even these wheels.
Well, the main thing is I have
there's more
to try to
than
like
even
deal
that.
with the wheels. I'm just trying to make sure I think I've got them all separated now. So
deal with the wheels. Spells on wheels.
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't really work. Spiels. No. See, why can't wheels be wells? But it's not, because wells are what you go to. See, English. Wheels, well, all the spell there.
There's an H in wheels.
Dumb language.
Also, there's two E's. What do you mean? That's like a bad example of what you usually.
No, because like they're not spelled completely identical, but like they when you look at them, they sound similar. Well, wheel. And then there's also well, the sentence well. Like, well then. That doesn't mean go down the well. That means that doesn't,
I don't know.
you know?
I think this is probably a bad example.
How?
Because wheel and well, I completely disagree.
Well and well. Well and well and there's like 3 wells, I think, or is there 2?
Where did you get wheel from? That doesn't fit in.
What? I never said wheel fit. I said I was making loose connection
to
wheel.
I'm sorry.
And then I said
were you
well's
saying
a dumb
wheel
word
as
anyway.
in WE''LL?
Well, there's that too, yeah.
I thought you were talking about like a wheel.
The combination of the letters W, E, and L with either 2 L's or 2 E's forms like 7 words.
See, I thought you were talking about like a wheel, like a spinning wheel with an H in it.
Well, there's that too, but that's just an added letter. That's an added H. But I mean, that would be more an issue of like if you're trying to understand how to pronounce it with the W, or sorry, with the H, right? How does that H sound? Is it, because H is used in multiple ways in words. But I mean more like well, wheel. There's wheel. because there's the 2 wells, which is, you know, well is like a, I don't even know, is like an interjection or something. Yeah, like, well then, I'll sip whiskey. And then there's well, like waters in a well, right?
Yep.
And then there's wheel, which is also, it has the apostrophe, but it's still the same 4 letters. I don't know. You know me. I'm not a fan of that stuff about English. I think it's not that I'm not entirely a fan of English. That's probably a bit overstating it, but like, yeah, there's things about it that I think are dumb.
But there is no salvation for the damned.
What the fuck is this?
Rest in peace in eternal darkness.
Shit.
Oh.
Eternal darkness. Well, big epic speech. Miss.
Oh, no, one of them hit. It's just passing the
okay.
spell.
Sorry, I thought I saw all misses.
Several people did not have.
Oh, that reminds me too. Jason was mentioning responding to some of Jason's comments. So one of his other comments, he was talking about the concept of death. And obviously, Jason, I totally understand that the game is using the concept of death loosely to its own devices. Obviously, when they say someone's dead, it means that their life has passed on in a metaphysical sense. I am saying that from a story perspective, narratively, it is a commonplace thing to assume dead means you are no longer going to see the character anymore in most conventional media associations. And the moment that you go and try to make a big deal out of someone being dead and then bringing them back, ironic that Kyle did that right then and there. Thank you, Kyle. Anyway, I know Phoenix Down, they're not completely dead.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Their health went to 0, Kyle, right? Health points were at 0, but you're not dead. Anyway, I'm talking specifically like Seymour and the people who get sent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the old days, a basic story meant if they kill someone, they're treating the audience with the respect to say, this character's gone, right? And now everything's gone the way of wrestling, where it's like, they're dead, but are they? They're fired, but are, you know what I mean? Like, that's late. It's okay to do it, but like, come on, don't pretend you're not. You're not. You're not tricking us.
I disagree with you in this game because
we're allowed to say dead with air quotes. That's a thing. I saw other journalists throughout all of E3 saying that. Tons. It's a thing. We say that. It means bullshit. Also, not dead. Narrative conceit.
We're not journalists.
Well, sorry.
Actual
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Actual journalists. I saw some people at Waypoint using that. Are they dead? And then they said dead, like air quotes. Yeah. Like that is a thing. Like, I know you rip on me, but that is a thing. People say that.
Yeah. No, I know that people do. I think. That
okay. Then you know what I'm trying to say when I'm saying.
Yes, but I think that this game handled it fine because.
I'm not using it as a criticism.
No, I'm saying that they had established
it doesn't get props for doing anything with it. It didn't do anything with it. It's no different than every other anime that uses it.
They were really honest about that throughout the game.
Of course.
Let me finish, dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So they had established that dead didn't mean dead before they did that with Seymour because of the Jiskel stuff, right? We're like right on. They're like, this dude's dead.
Oh,
we haven't seen him, so it doesn't matter. And
yeah.
then we see that he's like still around, and they explain that to Steve and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I get this now.
No, I'm not making the argument that the game implied that dead meant something it didn't.
Oh,
right, or that narratively dead meant you don't see these characters anymore. I'm more making the argument with Jason, whose comments were like, you have to treat dead like it's traditionally defined. It's like, no, these games don't even do that anyway. Narratively, dead means something. The conceit of story, right? In a book, when they say they kill someone, like, not all books do this, but some authors like to treat the audience with the respect to not do the gotcha, right? To not say, but they're back because of something that I invented in the conceit of the narrative that allows them to come back to life that the audience couldn't have accounted for, right? Like, again, this game does not do that. I'm just making the argument that's why dead can be used. Dead in air brackets can be a thing that we say.
I'm pretty sure that his whole point was that you did, like, you were saying, like, oh no, that doesn't mean that they're. Yeah, because if you remember, that you were not. Very
I wasn't
clear about
legitimately
that
saying that doesn't mean that they're actually dead, Kyle. You misunderstood that if that's what you think.
At the time,
I was using dead in air quotes.
Explaining it at the time.
No, I maybe. To me, Jason, it felt like Jason was making the argument that you have to use dead the way it's defined always. Like, this kind of goes to an earlier debate we had about language. That's one of the reasons this stuff bugs me, because of the slang, right? The slangness of it. Anyway. Yes, this game is not guilty of doing that. But like I said, this game does it the way most anime does it, like the Dragon Ball effect, right? They don't pull any punches pretty early, like, hey, the dead doesn't mean dead. You know what we mean. there's anime going on here.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just saying, I don't think at that point, you know, like for example, one of the things that you look at traditionally and you want to criticize, like, oh, are these characters, how do they feel from the impact of death, right?
Yeah.
We can't really know that because of the way death works in this universe and how it's, like, by death I mean finality, right? Like that, because that's what we would, as a human being, that's what you consider, like,
the end of existence,
the appropriate reactions, right? The appropriate, like, you would see, okay, we're going to see growth or development or something following the end of something, the actual final, like someone dying, right? And in the conceits of these games, I feel like it just gives them an excuse to say, well, this is why it's like action adventure, right? This is why it's that, because death isn't really, you know, like Seymour is living proof. Sorry, not really living.
Yeah,
in the game's context, not really living. Narratively living. Narratively completely alive at this moment. Actually, narratively stealing the stage, if you will. Oh, I mean, will. Ha! I said wheel there, anyway. Because he has wheel. Anyway, never mind.
Nice fucking meme, dude.
You're a meme. But I think the one thing that I will say about this game is that I think the religious undertones aren't really well explored. I think they're just kind of like a skin. It's just like here, like that's I kind of feel the same thing about the death stuff. Like I don't feel like it in earnest explores death. I feel it just uses it as there's a dimension where people get sent, and there's, like, you know what I mean, as a context for the universe. Or sorry, not the universe, for the characters that it's developed inside of the universe. You know what I mean?
Not really, because I kind of thought they leave it up to the imagination a little bit.
I mean, none of the characters really go through any, like, Yuna had way more of an existential crisis about whether or not she was going to sacrifice her own life for the final summoning, more so than any other characters had any conversation about any of the deaths that's happened, pseudo deaths, or characters being sent. Like at the end, Micah just got sent, right? And nobody even commented. It just happened, and then that's it. Everyone just kept going. I'm not trying to imply that that's necessarily a bad thing, but this is way more action movie plot and way less. Hey, we're gonna spend time with these characters. Huh?
I thought he was gonna instant banish. No. I mean, usually Seymour instant banishes summons, but he doesn't in this one.
I got it.
The
dog.
Go for it. Holy shit. That's a lot of turns. Okay, Kingberg's going down. Kingberg's not going to be in Rush Hour 3. Okay, this is... We still got a little bit of... Yeah, okay. So in return for it, like, I guess one thing I didn't notice before was that the status of how much damage different things do depends on the positions of the wheels, like his damage affinities, which I was not aware of at the time. But I'm kind of okay with him not being able to hit me with strong magic if I'm only doing half magic, or half damage with magic.
Just caught back up here, so you're okay with him hitting you through the magic?
Yeah. I realized that, like, you know, he's taking half damage from all magic on that. That was changing when the wheels were in different positions, which I hadn't realized before. But so technically, it is, like, damage-wise, it's optimal to, like, leave a spot open for.
Also, too, I'll say that the reason I was clarifying based on the conversation with response to Jason was because I thought you guys misunderstood. That I was implying that death wasn't the death in the universe. Like, no, I was implying that.
I was saying at the time,
I was using dead in air quotes. Exactly. Well, that his response made me think that was the case, which is why I then brought it up.
Because I watched that episode
That's
a little
what I'm
bit.
saying.
I watched that episode recently. Because it was just like, you're like, no, he's not dead, he's right there on the screen. But, like, I understood afterwards that you were doing a bit, but it wasn't really, like, clear in the moment.
Yeah, like, I was like, hey, that was, like, yes, like I said, they were saying he was dead in air quotes. But, like, they weren't making a big, the game was doing that to a degree as well. Like, it knew what it, again, this is the fourth form of Seymour. You don't get to 4 forms without knowing that you're playing with the narrative conceit of death.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they were honest about that, they killed him in the first one.
Now, Yuna, send him.
You know, that thing you should have done.
Now we can finally send him.
Maybe we've been trying 3 times.
Maybe
in a row.
we should have done that from the first time
Well,
we fought.
they actually did a pretty okay.
Oh, you finished him.
Yeah.
By the way, that's what this also means. Game's over. We beat Final Fantasy. No, I'm kidding.
Nope. The first time we were gonna send him.
She's got to twirl first 3
Well,
times like a dog before laying down.
No, she has to do a dance for it. That's consistent.
I'm just joking, Kyle.
Remember she like danced on the water?
I'm just joking, Kyle.
It's a big moment. See you, Seymour. You bitch.
It's just a summon, basically. It's a
Fuck
scent
you,
summon.
Seymour.
Is that the last we saw of him?
Sin will be right behind you.
Ooh, Steve.
Or will everyone in the Scent Land see more of him forever? I don't know.
That's bad.
I mean, his name is Seymour, so... But I think we've seen the last of him, I think.
We have.
I would say that seems about appropriate.
Yep, I'm gonna go back
at
and
that
save.
point.
Oh, feels good.
Yeah, no, I earnestly don't think that they've explored the religion in the game well enough. Like, they don't really give us... They give us all the tenets of the religion, but they don't give us any reasons for the religion, really. Like, we've started to get a little bit with the faith, but, like... Then again, the game's not over yet, so there's probably still questions left or that have yet to be answered. But I feel like, and we were talking about this before, how you didn't spend enough time in each of the individual worlds, like, because it's kind of hard to get a gauge on what the perception of the religion is, like, because you were talking to me about how it was like a big moment when, you know, Micah lied about the religion and people are starting to change their perceptions about the religion. That felt like like that you were adding that. Nobody else made comment, with the exception of Albed and Riku. None of the people you encountered with along the path, like, it was all just window dressing. It was all just, there's this stuff going on. Here's your quick mission in, pop out. Yeah, I'm saying that there's not a lot of world building going on here, or the religion building. It was just kind of like it's a plot. I'm not gonna say a plot device, but more like a like just a thematic undertone. Like it's like they're intentionally leaving it left unexplored, probably because they don't have anything to say on the subject, right? So it's just like they don't want to say anything on the subject. It's just like kind of loosely there. There's clearly elements that the religion has faults, and there's a problem with the religion in the game, clearly, and some of your plot some of the adventures involve changing that tone, right? But like the game is more focused on internally exploring that from Yuna's perspective than it is from the world's perspective or any of the other. You know what I mean? Like, as we were saying before, I can understand why they decided to make Yuna the next character, or at least it gives me the mindset that they perceived her to be a very pivotal character in this story, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like that was the other thing, is like, you don't spend enough time in these worlds. There is a sequel to this game, so that kind of helps out with that a little bit. And they do go a lot more into picking up the pieces of like what was happening with Yevon.
True. It just kind of reminds me of like early episodes of Star Trek when they'd show Klingon or other places. You'd get like an inkling of words of like what, but not really, like, you know what I mean? Like words and customs or something, but not really like why or any like layered conversation or understanding of it. And then like later episodes of Star Trek, or even later franchises, like stuff like DS9, right, where it was just people talking on a spaceship, you get tons of that because that's all it is. That's the show, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm hoping you get to kill this thing again with Oron.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to use that because he's low enough.
Oh, okay.
I'll save him for the next time I have a big one. It's just more efficient, right? Like he's going to be like either dead or half dead with the baseball swing. Whereas I can use that like instantly. So it's like, oh okay, I'm just going to do that then.
Also, don't worry, we'll have plenty of death conversation for Kingdom Hearts as well, because it deals with a lot of the same, not religious undertones, but other undertones, like even more ridiculous stuff even than that. That's the other thing about this game that I think probably is the craziest to me thus far. Not that ridiculous. Like, narratively, I mean, like it like obviously designs and stuff, it's still very fantastical. It's Final Fantasy, but like, thus far, not that crazy. Like, not that crazy of a plot. Like, I guess the Steve is really a dream might be a crazy thing, sort of, but like, I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, well, I think the Steve is really a dream might be a crazy thing, sort of, but like, I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Is it? 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 I mean, I've seen lots of movies that done that. That's not anything. That's by the time this game came out in 2001, that I'd probably seen like a dozen maybe, or 8 at least movies that have tried the. It's all in my head. I'm really a dream. You know what I mean? Granted, this game didn't do the gotcha moment with it. It just kind of drip fed that out. If I remember correctly, they gave that to us pretty early, like halfway through almost. Oren was just like, "Oh, by the way, there's something up with you."
He didn't tell.
Oh no, it wasn't until we met the kid in the dream. Yeah.
Yeah. They also didn't
So that was about 70% maybe, though. That was actually still wasn't near the end, right? That they didn't. I don't think it was a gotcha.
You're not in the last
though,
boss fight,
no.
and he's like, no.
Like they don't build it to like a They're kind of just like, hey, this is also going on.
Steve's like, what the fuck is happening? And he tells him like pretty much immediately. Yeah.
I mean, they made it clear that something was going on because they didn't completely like. Steve just thought he traveled through time, but he didn't actually know. And that's kind of, they just leave that right. That's the start, and they're like, and we're not going to address that again until basically that.
Yeah,
that
like he
point
tells
we're talking
everybody
about.
that when they're like when he meets them. Because,
When he first meets them.
Yeah, but that's what you would do.
Oh, this enemy looks cool.
Yeah, these things are pretty rad.
Like
There's
some of the
also,
enemy
like,
designs too. The more I think about it, like this era, it's like starting to also remind me of Kingdom Hearts. This dude, especially, I seem to remember enemies that look similar to this. Look at those gloves. That's probably the best part about them. Look at the hands on their gloves. Oh, those hands are huge.
You ready for a bit another
Those hands
baseball
also
swing?
those hands also look bigger than what they should be for the size of their body. Like they look like ginormous hands.
What they do, Ryan?
Ding, ding. Where are we, by the way? We're in Sin, right?
Yeah, we're inside of Sin.
Okay. We just fought Seymour inside of Sin.
Yes. We are going to spend the rest of this game inside of Sin.
Okay. So I better get used to the cool, colory purple thing. Kingdom.
Yep.
The blocky, the Tetris Kingdom. There you
Yeah.
go. That's kind of sort of what it has a vibe of. Sort of, kind of. Not the new Tetris. Man, that new Tetris.
Those look really good.
It does. It looks crazy.
Yeah. Steve, come on back in. Sick of wasting magic. Oh, fuck. This one... Yeah, never mind. Steve actually can't hit this. He heals it.
The other thing too is, oh, she got something called Slayer. Regarding the religion in the game, is just thinking on it, like, I don't know if I've really gathered a way of how that religion's necessarily an entire way of life, other than just the only thing it seems presented to me is the religion seems to be a way to interact with sin.
Well, that was like the entire premise of the building was like, we have proven that we can beat this thing temporarily.
But they fundamentally believe in this. So I'm sure in the sequel they probably showcase other stuff about Yevon that isn't just, you know, completely like I'm not gonna say completely crazy or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Like that isn't just sin related. Like that's like, because I'm sure there was other things going on in the religion than just like, even if they did everything for sin, there's probably lots of stuff they do that we weren't privy to, or we didn't get to completely see, just because the only summoner we really interacted with on a consistent basis was Yuna. We ran into other summoners,
yeah,
but we didn't really. Yeah, we didn't really get to know any of them.
Yeah. But no, the whole reason
and
that
because Yuna was doing like what do the people of Yevon preach when presuming what would normally happens, right? The summoner fuses.
Can we talk about this thing for a second?
Oh my goodness.
And even Riku was just like, who makes these things? She just called it out.
Yep. You know who makes them? This one was made by someone who made something in Dark Souls. They left this studio and then they did 100%.
Okay, apparently this thing has.
This is how they got their start.
I'm not dealing with that shit right now.
Anyway,
yeah, sorry, keep going.
So let's presume Steve never shows up. None of this doesn't happen, and Yuna succeeds, and she, as normal, doing the final summon, and Sin goes away for a period of time. Yeah. What do the people of Yevon do and believe in when Sin's gone for that period of time? What do they practice? They're a religion, right? So there's more. There's no way it's just, well, we got rid of Sin, now everyone is free to do whatever they want. That's not how religion works. religious.
No, it's that they're supposed to continue to try to atone. So that was the whole thing, right? Summoners will get rid of sin
But they're supposed to
temporarily.
continue to atone. That's the thing. They say words like we're supposed to continue to try to atone for our sins, and also like they would constantly say things like and follow the code or whatever their words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not an answer. That's just there is lore bullshit, but we're not going to explain it here. That's what that is. That's not. I want to see an actual. You know, like I wanted to learn
that's
it.
what Christianity is exactly like that, dude.
No, but you can pick up the book and look into it. Like I'm not saying there's legitimate reasons why they do stuff to a degree. I'm just saying that there's stories and like, you know what I mean? Like, and each individual person usually has takes on it. Like, especially nowadays, obviously, with religion being so disconnected. For us in the real world, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who say they believe in God but don't believe in any, like, they don't follow any tenets, you know what I mean? Like, they just...
Yeah.
I passively choose to believe in a higher being, if you will. Which, is that even, at that point, is that even religious? Like, it's hard to qualify that, right?
Yeah.
I guess, but like...
As somebody who's very not, I kind of...
No, neither am I. Yeah,
tend to stay uninvolved because most people, and obviously there are notable exceptions, people in my life, but most people who are religious tend to be pretty preachy about it, and it's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you ever.
See, I've encountered most of the opposite. I don't know anybody preachy about religion anymore, except for the Jehovah's who come to the door sometimes. And,
that's the worst.
Nobody answers the door.
Yeah.
Well, we don't answer the door. Who answers the door?
I have to if
Nobody.
Alex orders packages a lot, and I kind of have to get them.
But if I answer the door, I just say no. I just look at them. No.
Yeah, no, same.
No.
But then they try like
close the door on them.
Yeah.
But how many times do you got to go through that experience before they start to realize that, like maybe maybe they're
a part of their
believing in their
religion.
heart. Maybe they're believing that when
have to
faced
do
with doubt, you have to push harder. But it's like also when faced with the 21st century, you have to re-envision how you are going to get your message out. Like if you legitimately wanted to recruit people for a good message, going door to door is not the way to do it. 100%. I no offense to the people who go door to door. I just don't think you're going to get more people that shut the door in your face. People that might help if you actually, like if it was in a serious cause or something, right? That if you presented that information to them in a way that was like not spammy, you know?
Yeah.
That's just a bad method. Like it's like someone trying to promote a good thing that then they send into your spam email box, right? It's like I'm not going to click on that.
I'm still not dealing with petrification.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
You don't want to deal with the petrification of that guy.
No, like as a status,
We got
it's
some
really
cool little buildings coming up down, or little pieces of the environment coming up and down. Oh, that's a weird camera shift though.
Yep. Oh fuck.
Oh, you got
this guy.
ambushed.
Oh, this is Captain Meteor face.
Oh, that's his name, Captain, the Behemoth King, Captain
Yeah.
Meteor Face.
Well, this guy, he casts Meteor as a death throw.
I will say the one thing that distinctly looks the best on him, all the hair.
Yeah.
The fine part of the hair throughout, that's like a giant mohawk throughout his whole body.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna intentionally leave Orin low.
Kinda reminds me of a
because he has
horse.
haste when he's in yellow
Or
health.
like a bull, I guess, too, would have hair like that, right? The stripe. But he also has like a water thing, because everyone does.
Yeah.
The little fins. It's a water bowl.
Well, Steve is dead.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Riku.
Steve is dead. If this was a JRPG where you lost the moment your protagonist got healed, like a Fire Emblem or whatever, you would be done. That would be the game.
Yep. It certainly would have been Ryan.
I'm sure. I'm assuming in those type of games, like you played them, right? I haven't. Is that you can like make people take the hit instead of your guy?
Well,
Like you can
position them on the
use
board.
abilities that like draw aggro or something.
Yeah, or you can like hide them behind other tiles, or like you can just keep them out of the fight, like totally if you want to.
Oh, like just straight up use just keep your player characters like a general on the sidelines.
Yeah, if you want to. Like they still have to be
Good
on
shouts.
the field, but there's
You,
like
do
a
this.
tile system, right? So it's like, oh, okay, like
Riku, Albed Potion. Oron, Brood. Waka, be useless. Go.
hey, you got it.
Bum, 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 bum,
All right,
bum,
we're gonna
bum,
try
bum.
something here, because he casts spells when he dies that are way too strong for me to survive. That's what happened to me when I got one shot that one time. But what if he doesn't die, Ryan? Oh shit, that didn't work. He doesn't get sent out. Okay, I know how to handle this. First of all,
He's too big to be homered out.
yeah.
But he does have the orbs above him of stun or something.
No, that's Mighty
do
Guard. He
something
has a
to
lot
him.
of things
Oh,
that are
okay.
like protecting him. He's
Oh,
got
okay.
protecting shell and all
So
of.
he's got the
elemental
Infinity
things.
Stones just protecting him.
Yeah, he does. But I can just do this, and now he doesn't have any more. Just like the big fuck you moment.
Ron McDon. No. Last battle. We're saving Ron McDon for the last battle. I guess we don't need money from this point on, but you know, just for the aesthetic.
Well, I don't have
purposes.
enough money, right? Like I need to earn that cash.
Yeah, we want to use him in a. Actually, we have to be real here. We're saving him for a pivotal moment, and he's going to be a game changer,
Absolutely.
deal breaker, if you will. But for now, Kingberg. Kingberg seems to be your default.
I like Kingberg a lot. Yeah. He's the only one who can break the.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not? Crosses his arms.
Yeah,
He's
even
the only
like
one
his
who
like
breaks the
I'm low
mega
and-
or the
Yeah, the
barriers.
damage barrier. So by far my best summon. Well, that was a lot of damage.
Is this the only Final Fantasy you've beaten?
Maybe. No, yes. Yes, it is. Wow. I've gotten really far in a lot
So
of
you,
them.
so you. Well, okay, I was gonna say, are you uniquely qualified then to say that this is the
No,
best
sorry,
two,
I've also beaten
or-
4.
Okay. I mean, 4 is, in my humble opinion, a way better game than this game, but that's okay. I think this is a fine game. I think this game does a lot good, for sure.
It certainly does.
I think mechanically and visually.
Come on, Wendy. So yeah, I'm gonna have Wendy
Aesthetically.
take a meteor hit for me when he dies, so I don't instant wipe. That was why I summoned Kingberg, but I did it too early. I jumped the gun. Son of a bitch!
Well, she just got hit in the face. She's done.
Yeah, she gone.
King Behemoth here ain't messing around. He is the
Apparently
king after all.
fucking not.
Like, he didn't send no peasants, he didn't send no guard, no jester, no knight. You know, not even what else is in a kingdom? I'm trying to remember.
Good question, Ryan.
Is there any other? His butler, his personal butler. Didn't send his chosen avant-garde. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now. The Final Fantasy way.
I think some of these are made up.
I'm just making. Indeed. I feel like that should just be a meme. Something happens to Final Fantasy, just Kyle. I think some of these are made up. I think Yuna's made up. Just saying.
Okay. So yeah, Meteor is only gonna hit. He's gonna kill Little Caesar, but like at least I don't wipe the entire party.
Yeah. Oh, he died. He cast Meteor upon death.
Yeah. That was
What
why.
a
Remember that
bastard.
when I like wiped randomly? I was like, what the fuck? Like that was what happened.
Later. Little Caesar. Okay.
That was awkward and terrible.
That
Holy
wasn't a
shit.
boss. That was just a random encounter.
Yep.
We're still in the maze of platforms that rise, or environment that rises.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna
wait,
fight
we were
those
still
guys.
here. We were still here when that rose, when I was talking about that. That felt like an hour ago. Holy moly. That was a long battle. Whoa, there we go. Little Nathan Drake slide. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight those guys in the future because that's not a good use of our time.
I mean, you're leveling hard. Nice walk up there. He just slides up.
Thank you.
Whoa. Okay, so they left all the cool designs for here. Like, come on, how do you compare this? You can't be joking with me. How are these not way cooler than Sin? Everything we've seen in the Sin side of Sin is way cooler than
These
Sin
are alright.
on the outside. Basically, what we're saying is don't judge a Sin by its cover.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, because Sin on the outside just looked boring as fuck. I should have read the synopsis.
The synopsis?
Oh, no.
You kind of walked into that.
Oh, fuck. Like, look at this dude. Like, oh man. Like, if these things were Pokemon, man, and they evolved and stuff, done. Sell me.
Zoom! I love that zoom.
Steve as Ash. Steve Cat. We should. Square should just call it Steve Ketchum, yeah. Or Steve Gotcha. They should call it like Squaremon or something, and his name's Steve Gotcha. And then when he captures someone, instead of it being a Pokeball, he just like is filming them and then gets out of nowhere and look at that Ashton Kutcher and Punk moment. There's a camera there. I gotcha. There's a camera. Yeah.
Oh my god. No!
He's gonna. Oh my god! He just frog splashed
Son
you.
of a
this
bitch!
Dude. Okay. Again, I would totally 100. A frog splashing Pokemon. Oh man.
I'm out. Okay. Well, that's gonna end this episode.
You're right. I should have read the synopsis. Apparently, it is. Party gets wrecked by cool-looking regular enemy inside of
Fuck
Sin.
me. Next time we're gonna just push through this shit.
We were gonna beat this, but I don't know about that now.
Shut the fuck up, Brian. Yes, we will.
You know what, Kyle? I have faith. I have faith.
See you guys next time.
Fuck, I didn't even... Oh, anime.